This is my presentation on the Fast and Furious franchise. This is just a flashback of the last few films from within the franchise.
Ride or die, remember?
Money's the motivation, money's the conversation. You on vacation, we getting paid, so we on vacation. I did it for the fam. It's whatever we had to do, it's just who I am. Yeah, it's the life I chose. Gunshots in the dark, one eye closed. And we got it cooking like a one-eye stove. You can catch me kissing my girl with both eyes closed. Perfecting my passion, thanks for asking. Couldn't slow down, so we had to crash it. You use plastic, we bout cash. I see some people ahead that we gon' pass, yeah. I never fear death or dying. I only fear never trying. I am whatever I am. Only God can judge me now. One shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. And I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See, these people I ride with. This moment, we own it. And the same ones that I ride with be the same ones that I die with. Put it all out on the line with. If you're looking for me, you can find wit in the new car or the crown with. My new broad does a fine chick in the weather squad. I'm down with. Ain't no way around it. What you say? Tell me what you say. Working hard, repping for my dogs. Do this every day. Stuck to the plan. Always said that we would stand up, never ran. We the fam and loyalty never change up. Been down since day one. Look at where we came from. Jumping out on anybody who try to say something. One thing about it, got a problem, I got the same one. Money rolls, we fold. Plenty clubs, we close. Follow the same code. Never turn our backs, our cars don't even lose control. Shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. And I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See, these people I ride with.
We graduated to a whole new level.
This moment, we own it, own it, own it, own it.
So overall, there has been 7 full-length feature films created and 2 short films. The short films not many people know about because they're not as big as the full-length feature films and they weren't released in the cinema. The very start, back in 2001, the very first Fast and Furious was unveiled in Los Angeles and it was directed by Rob Cohen. But little did anyone know, 14 years later, it would be one of the biggest franchises around. The film's plot basically consists of Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor, played by Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, who become friends whilst trying to apprehend a ringleader of a gang. After the huge popularity of Fast and Furious 1, Fast and Furious 2 was released. The sequel was directed by John Singleton, which named it Too Fast, Too Furious. The plot consists of O'Connor and Roman Pierce, played by Tyrese Gibson, going undercover to bring down a drug lord, and in return they'll be pardoned from the crimes they've committed. After this, 3 years later, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was put in the market and soon became a box office sensation. The plot is simply where a teenager named Sean Boswell, played by Lucas Black, moves to Japan and climbs the rankings of the drifters. Personally, this is my favourite film because drifting is the one motorsport I can say I'm close to. After Tokyo Drift, the 4th film within the franchise was released and consists of Dominic Toretto and his crew hijacking tankers of fuel whilst Brian O'Connor tries to track down a drug lord named Braga. Once again, O'Connor and Brian's path become intertwined once again. The current. After the Fast and Furious was released, 2 years later, Fast 5 was released and was directed by Justin Lin. The plot again basically consists of Toretto and Connor going out to bring down a drug lord in Rio, but Agent Luke Hobbs is hot in their tail after a series of murders are blamed on Toretto following a series of heists. In a bonus scene after the credits, we can see that Letty, Toretto's wife, who they thought was dead, is still alive. This leads us nicely into Fast and Furious 6, which was directed by Justin Lin again. The plot within this film is basically they go to London to find Letty and discover she's lost her memory and can't remember them at all, whilst trying to take down Owen Shaw. The latest film to be released was Fast and Furious 7. The plot of this installment is Owen Shaw's brother, Deckard Shaw, swears revenge on Toretto and his crew, whilst Toretto and his crew have to save a hacker called Ramsey who created God's Eye. The future of the franchise. After the death of Paul Walker during the filming of Fast and Furious 7, Paul's brother Cody and Caleb helped finish the filming of Fast and Furious 7. No one really knows at the moment if another Fast and Furious will come out, but it's hanging in the balance at the moment because no one really knows. The merchandise. With the films becoming increasingly popular, it is no surprise there's been merchandise created. The merchandise consists of model cars, car stickers and video games and posters. I have 2 Rest in Peace Paul Walker stickers on the side windows of my car. Copycat crimes. The copycat crimes that have been committed since Fast and Furious 7 has been released is young drivers performing donuts in the Munster area of Ireland. They've been inspired to do this by watching the film as they're going home and they think that they can be like their favourite stars from the film franchise. And also, a man from my local community has recently been in court for racing public roads, and the judge has described something like a Fast and Furious film. Copycat car modification. Ever since the first film, people have been modifying their cars to look like cars from the Fast and Furious franchise. The most famous replica is Brian O'Connor's Nissan Skyline. Recently it was sold for 750 grand at auction. There's also been replicas of Dominic Toretto's Mustang built. This shows me that there is a wide fan cult, and it shows me that fans will go to any expense or bother to make the cars look like the cars in the film. The fan culture. The fan culture for Fast and Furious is huge. This is no surprise with an audience of 2.7 million. There has been a fan website set up for fans to share photos, videos and talk to each other about the franchise. Also, there's a Facebook group with 11,000 members. On this, people talk about Fast and Furious 8 and debate on whether or not it'll actually happen, and if it does happen, what the plot will be about. Also, the fan culture shows me that the fans are really into it and they'll go to any expense to be like their idols. In my opinion, the first few films of the franchise are the best because they mainly feature street racing. After Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, personally I think the films became way too far-fetched, but once you get around this, they're very good and worth the watch.